Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and today you join me for the very first episode in Series 2 of Train World. Series 2? But you didn't really complete Series 1, you might be asking. Well, that's very true, but just a couple of days ago, the very hard-working dev of Train World released a huge new update that we've been anticipating for a little while now. And, well, so much has changed. Most importantly, as far as I'm concerned, I cannot carry on with my old game because the very foundations of the way the economy in this game now works have changed completely. For anyone who's still got a game running, the old level still running, the dev has very generously enabled the old version, the pre-update version, to be used. You just need to go into your Steam library settings for the game and change the properties to use the beta for 1.12, I think is the release level of the last of the first release builds. But for us, we're not going to do that. We're going to go straight on into a brand new game and explore the many changes, well, as many as I can get to in the time we've got for today. The many changes in this latest update to Train World. It's still not complete. The dev has said there's still more tinkering and adjustments and finessing to do, but we've got some really interesting and entertaining and challenging new mechanics to play with. So if you're watching my previous series, when the game came out into first release, we were playing on Noran Island, the smallest and simplest of the maps in the game. We've kind of done that. Let's do something different and exciting, perhaps. We could go up to Pangaea, which is, a good deal bigger. So Noran Island is 33 by 33 kilometres. Pangaea is 197. And that looks quite an interesting arrangement of terrain. Or the Great Lake, which is 131 kilometres squared. The River Delta, which is that's an interesting look there at the top, isn't it? Yeah. Or the tropical island, which is 66, which is pretty much double the. Actually, I have a feeling it's 4 times, isn't it? Because it's a square of. But listen, I can't remember. That was a long time ago since I learnt that sort of maths. Right, so we're going to do Tropical Island. I don't want something too big because we'll be here for decades while I attempt to complete the map. So with the chance that I might get somewhere close to completing it, we'll go to the Tropical Island, which is the next size up. We'll go to that. I can't remember exactly what difficulty mode I was playing on previously. Possibly comfortable or easy. I'm going to go with comfortable. We don't want it to be too easy, but I want a little bit of a challenge. But I've had a play around for a couple of hours with this latest update and, well, yeah, there's some things that are going to be interesting, challenging to deal with. So I'm going to go with a comfortable level of my difficulty. The mode, we're going to keep the achievement-driven, the development, the researching mode enabled. In the basic mode, the sandbox, of course, is everything is open to you, nothing goes out of date, and you're free to do pretty much what you like. I think you have all the research open, all the rest of it. But no, I like to have some sort of challenge in the games I play, certainly for sort of tycoon-y kind of games. So basic, comfortable difficulty. Let's have a look and see what we're given on the tropical island in Train World. And here we're at Fort Worth. That's interesting. We were in Fort Worth in our previous series, and we're at the top of the map. Okay, yeah. Every time you start a new game, although the sort of map is kind of the same, you will start in a new or randomised location. When I first opened up this new release, I was somewhere in the middle, I think. If we go to regions here, which was Arlington. Yeah, I think that's where I was to start with. Yes, it was. It was. So, this is going to be an interesting new challenge. Okay, you may notice already several things have changed. So we go back to our main map, which is this. This looks pretty much the same. We do have some new assets on the map. I don't know if we'll be able to find them too easily, but they are here. There are animals on the map, so where you've got sort of dairy farms and so on, you will see herds of cows corralled into some big field and so on. We're not getting tasks anymore. which were used to sort of boost your own bank balance. They gave you rewards for that. What we will get now are contracts. And these are one-off delivery quests, if you will, from what I understand. I've not done one yet, so I don't know exactly how they work. But they won't open, from what I've read off the release notes, they won't open until we've unlocked at least 2 regions. And talking of regions, let's go back to that world map. Can we unlock the next region down here? Seattle? No, because I've got a low reputation. Now, this is one thing that I found difficult to manage in my first sort of play with this latest release. There's a reputation management system. It's not just about bank balance and being able to afford stuff. You now have to be of good enough name, of good enough reputation to allow the good citizens, the good mayors of this world, to allow you into their cities, into their regions. Now, the reputation is up here. And as you can see, it can go very low if you run out of money or something. And I'm not quite sure what that region's. That's unlocked. Maybe that's telling me I need 200 reputation points to unlock a region. Oh, that's quite an ask, actually. And what this does is every time you complete some sort of task, from what I've been able to make out, like creating a line or a train delivering its cargo, or you completing a contract, you will get rewards which build towards your reputation. You'll get sort of reputational points for that. However, you will get negative points as you start building up. Now, this is the thing I'm struggling with when I first started playing the game, is that as I was building new routes, until that first train on that route delivered its cargo, I was getting negative reputation for that unused route. So that's going to be, I think, the first part of the challenge in the game. So research, loans, contracts, we'll look at all this as we go through. Now, in terms of products and cargo, you don't see anything on here. There's no products tab on here, but there is this thing called connections, which allows you to look at what cargo is available in the regions you've unlocked. Now, at the moment, in the Fort Worth region, we only have one cargo, and that is fish, which is this here. So we've got raw fish in Columbus, which is produced, which is manufactured into or changed into sort of edible fish fingers or something, I don't know, fish steaks, whatever, in Jacksonville. So we've only got one cargo we can carry, as well as passengers, and these are our potential passenger routes. So it would be worth sort of attempting to complete all of those as best we can. Now, to help us along, we do have this thing called achievements. So as you complete particular types of task, as you're building your networks, as you're building your transport empire, you will complete certain things, like a train going 120 kilometers per hour. You will get a reward of 200,000 in your bank balance. So they're just sort of little fillip, if you will, little bonuses in terms of revenue for completing some of these generalized tasks, if you will, in terms of running a train network. Information, we'll try and look at all this as we can. And the help pages have been pretty much reworked. I've had a look at a number of them, and they have been updated to this latest build, so they have sort of the examples of how this game works at the moment. So I think let's actually start working, shall we? I don't like these bright lines. That means significant contouring, significant changes in height. So we're going to need to take, what is that? That is fish, and it's going to be turned into dry fish. Okay, and as you can see here, we've got this sort of contract symbol here, which gives you some indication of what you're doing in terms of that task. And the little red train symbol says in delivery. Yeah, I think there's a couple of little minor buggets in some of the icon tooltips which aren't exactly accurate. But yeah, so that's what we can do here. We've got production, and that takes us to the map. So let's start working on this, shall we? Let's get me guidelines drawn. Oops, perhaps I need to slow down the edge scrolling. We'll take a grid line from guideline from here to here to here. Now at this point we don't know who else will want dry fish. It's quite possible that it might be something that other regions demand, so we can move it on. So we might need a fairly big station here in Jacksonville to process all that cargo that's coming out of there. I don't know, but from Columbus here, which is just simply giving us wet fish, I think a single platform cargo station will do nicely. From what I've read of the patch notes so far, there are 32 industry types within the game. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I need to right click on that to get rid of it. There you go. Let's come out of the guides. Let's get it back into the map. So there are 32 industries, and apparently, where's my notes here, more than 160 cargo types. Yeah, so you could be quite busy. So let's build ourselves a new station. Oh, depots. Yeah, we've got depots now. Oh yes. Freight. You're the multi-terminal one. Now this does a boxcar, and boxcar does both fish, wet and dry. Okay, so we're going to put in one of these stations, and remember we're going to need 4 freight stations. We need to loop around or have one of those sort of flip reverse kind of things going on. I think if we put it down here a bit like that, no, we'll make it a bit like that, I think. So we'll place you there, and our track will come up from here. One nice thing about this latest update, as much as the game has changed dramatically, all the settings that you had previously are still in place. So that's all good. Oh, I didn't need to do that. I wanted to do that. Right, so we're going to come up here. So I can press... The default is the space bar for completing that section of track. I've changed it because I like to use space for pause. I've changed it in the controls settings. I've changed that to the Alt key, which works quite nicely for me. I'm going to press Alt, going to carry on up here. Ooh, and we're nearly there. Let's finish that there. We can probably get rid of the grid lines. This is a very short route actually. So we'll get rid of the grid line, guide line. I will never stop saying that, will I? It's ridiculous. So we're going to want, I think, a multi-terminal freight station here will do nicely. So we're going to possibly want to add platforms, which will be coming out this way. So if we have it in this orientation, that will work very nicely. I think something along those lines. Yeah? Like that. And we want a bit of track. Not like that, we don't. We want a bit of track. I'm not connecting it, am I? If I go in closer, it's easier to see the pin change. That's it. I want you to come. Will you? No, you'll do that, won't you? Which is silly. And connect onto there. That's that job done. And when you come out of there, it's kind of like a heart shape, isn't it? That's so cool, so cool, so cute. And you can come down there. That's excellent. We'd best do the loop at the other end. And this one, no, yes. Actually, I really don't like those things on the end now. I decided I don't like them. So I'll go back into settings, and this is rail construction data. That's it. Yeah, we get all that data in the little menu anyway, so we don't need it. I don't need it on the end of my tracks. That's cleaner and easier for me to see, I think. So I'll have you coming around like that, and then joining in like that. And we got double green lines, which is excellent. Now, trains don't just appear magically anymore at a station. They appear at a depot. And depots have a number of purposes. First and most obvious, of course, is to purchase trains. The other purpose is as a inventory store. So you can send locomotives and trains back to the depot. I've not done it yet, this is how I understand it works. You can send trains back to the depot to keep them in storage. I don't think you pay maintenance on them or anything like that, and their lifespan isn't affected by being in storage. But what that does mean is that when you get a new one-off contract, that train might be useful to serving that contract. You can just pull it straight out of storage without spending any extra money. So it's quite a nice little feature. We'll see how that plays out. However, we need to make sure we have a depot connected to our tracks so our trains can get to this new route. There are two types of depot. Now, I don't quite understand the tunnel depot. It is described on the help screens. So if you go through those, it will tell you. In fact, should we do that now? I'll do that now. So we're on depots. Oh, it's gone straight to it. That was handy, wasn't it? So it's a place where your trains will start from. You left-click it, a place on the ground. Now you can build depots with electrified or high-speed rails by selecting these options. But from what I understand, if we continue this, you can upgrade them later on when you actually get those options researched. Right, tunnel depots are one way. You go through them like a station. Make sure you connect rail on both sides. Okay. I think that might have been a change. It's been this latest update has been patched, been a hotfix to it. I think there was another sentence on the description of the tunnel depot which said that's where trains terminate, or trains terminate at it, which confused the heck out of me. So do we want a tunnel depot? I don't think so. We'll put a tunnel depot. Well, sorry, we'll put a standard depot out here, and there's a likelihood that we're going to use this for passenger and freight operations. Let's go back to our map. So our freight station is there. Yeah, passengers and other things might come out this side. So perhaps our depot ought to be up here. Yeah? Or actually behind the station. That'd be good, wouldn't it? I could put it there. And then you can go straight onto the loop. Let's spin that around a little bit, like so. Good. And I hope I can put track in there. I can. And there it goes. That's our depot connected. The way lines and trains work is now completely different. There's no such thing as a line. Every train has its own unique route from destination to from one destination to another destination. So you can't put more than one train on a line. You sort of can, but they're not sort of together as a line with multiple trains on. Now this took me a little while to get my head around this. There's a lot of things which are kind of hidden behind other little buttons which you've got to click through to fully understand what's going on, and not all of them are entirely intuitive. There are quite a few tooltips around to help, but not for everything. So for simple-minded people like me, it can be a little awkward to see what you're doing or to discover what needs to be done. So we're going to add a new freight train. It's going to be train 1, and it's going to be, do I want to put it on a route? I can't put it on a route yet because I don't have a train, so I need to edit this train. We're at the very start of the game, so we've only got one locomotive, so we'll add you. Now this is dry fish, so we're using the box car, I think. Now one thing here which confused me to start with is that we don't see here what type of cargo this wagon will carry. So I thought, oh, you're going to have to remember that, are you, and hope for the best. No, you don't. No, you don't. What you do is you click on the little icon here and it tells you. So this is probably a good decision by the developer. If we've got 160 types of cargo that can be shipped around, then having a list of them here on the main screen would become quite unwieldy, I imagine. So having them a bit hidden behind the icon, I think is a reasonably sensible user interface decision. So the boxcar is what we want. We're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many fish are going to be produced here in wherever it is we're taking the fish from. I've forgotten already. Good grief. So what's that? Oh, that's steam locomotives. That's what they are. 3. Let's put another one on. Okay, use inventory. What does this do? Oh, I don't know. Have to find that out, but I don't need to worry about that just yet. Let's accept this train. We'll call this one Fish Train 1. There you go. Right, now the line icon, the route icon is highlighted, so we can edit the route. And you're actually, if I come out here, going to be going from Columbus, that was the name of it, from that station to Jacksonville. And it will head to whichever station it can get to first coming out of the depot, which is going to be Columbus, where the fish is held. And we can edit our settings here for that station. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. Unload or not unload these cargo. I'm not sure I remember seeing all this the first time I came into this new build. Right, that's a lot, isn't it, actually? That's in Columbus. We are in Columbus. Is there a full... What does that do? Oh, that means unload. Don't unload. And load that. Is there a full load option on here? I'm not sure if there is. I need my magnifying glasses on, don't I? I think for this. I'm not seeing fish. They must be here somewhere. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. If I click... No, don't. Oh, that's just turning those off. Right. So you can select which ones you want to load and unload individually or on bulk. I'm not seeing an option here to wait for a full load. I don't know if that's been changed or not since this update. Okay, we don't need to worry about that anyway. You can also tell it to ring the bell to notify you when it hits the station. Maybe that's useful. I've not yet found a use for it, but it could be useful to know when a task has been completed or you want to move on to do something else, where actually knowing where the train is explicitly useful to you. But we'll set that anyway just to show it off. So notify me when you hit Columbus 1, which is a stupid name for a station. Oh, I put it on that route. And the next thing to do is send it en route or send it to the depot. No, we're going to send it on the route. So go. And let's, can we monitor the train? Let's get it running a bit faster. There you come. And there it is, depot number 1. Might rename that as well. Lovely. What was I going to do? I can't remember now. I was going to do something, wasn't I? Was it about the train? Oh, I was going to rename these stations, wasn't I? Jacksonville 1. So you can be Jacksonville Freight, and the other one here. Be quicker to get here from here. You can be Columbus Fisheries. That's good. Okay, let's get back to our train and follow you. Now on the route for this train, oh, it's all the way over there, is it? Oh, it's showing the, where is it? Oh, it's showing the, it's, no, showing the route. There you are. Interesting. It's only going in one direction. I'm sure it can make its way back, otherwise it would have given me an error. Ah, one thing to notice here, however, is my reputation is now -50. It started at 0, so it's gone down. And that's because I've got a line, a connection which isn't yet being fulfilled. Now this is something else. Ah, that -50. That's implying something about the reputation, I think. So the contract here is 39 out of 140. Does that matter? I think that's how much is waiting for me at Columbus. 41. Yes, it is. So it's gone up to 42 now. And 100, is that the capacity of my train? No, 75 is the capacity of my train. I wonder what that 100 is. Maybe that's where... Maybe that's the maximum. Or what the number that's required. So let's get you in there. Now these achievements, I don't know if we will get... Oh, first train has reached Columbus Fisheries. Industrial Revolution, I've achieved something. So I've got a little bit of extra money in the bank balance. These achievements restart. They are per game, basically. Oh, so what's that? Create a route with at least 2. So I didn't notice that one coming up. Perhaps you did. So I got 100 for that. So, which is a nice little extra. Now we're not going to get anything out of this train in terms of reputation or money for that matter until it hits its destination and delivers that cargo. In the meantime, what else can we do? We've only got that one cargo to ship, so we might as well crack on and get a passenger route running. Yeah, so let's have a look here. Now Columbus, is Columbus a city which has passengers? Let's go here to connections, passengers. No, it doesn't. So we need Jacksonville to Austin basically. So let's do that, shall we? So another guideliney thing. Again, these look relatively short distances actually compared to my previous attempt with this new build. In a different region the distances were substantially larger. So we'll come round here and avoid that gradient because I'm a coward basically. And where do we want to go to Austin? I think if we go let's right click on that to go back. Yeah, and right click on that. Let's come down here and go in here because the other towns around Austin are either south or west of it, so that's where our station needs to be, I think. So that's good. So let's get back to Jacksonville. Oh, our train's just arrived. There you are, delivering money. Sorry, delivering into Jacksonville. Let's go a bit faster. So my reputation should improve. Up 33. Awesome. And I presumably made some money. Now there's been some changes. So we'll get onto the passenger route in a minute. There's been some changes to the economic displays here. Now they may have been there before and I just didn't notice them because they're hidden behind buttons which I didn't understand and they weren't fully explained. But I think the tutorial now covers this better. Now this is the money I've made, the expenses and the income. This is the company value. Yeah, in terms of the assets I've got, the money in the bank and so on. Transport, this is how much I've transported. Not a great deal yet. And over here we can see the loans we can take out. We can also see when we become liable for taxes. Now I think, I'm not quite sure. Oh, right, that's the end of a quarter, so I can see I've carried a lot of freight, 24k of freight, whatever that number is. So at some point we will be charged taxes. The higher difficulty levels, I understand, the taxes are higher or due earlier, whichever. So at the moment I'm not getting taxed on anything. So maybe when I hit 12 million I'll start getting taxed. Or maybe that's the maximum tax I'll be charged. We'll discover that when I start earning real money. Anyway, now if we click on this train, a new set of buttons appear. So this is the money the train has earned. Now this is the wait time for the train. And that tells us how long it is waiting around before loading up and so on. I'm not quite sure again what all the details of the wait time imply. The tutorial does give you a little bit more info on that, but you need that to be as low as possible. Ours, it looks like 0, so that's quite good. Utilization here is how much your capacity on that train is used. Now our train wasn't entirely full. It's probably about 40% full, thereabouts, so that's where the bar is there. On the way out, so it was nearly 70% full or so, wasn't it, on the way out? But on the way back it was completely empty. So on this route it's only ever going to be as much as 50% utilised because it's always empty on the way back on this particular train. So again, this is quite handy for checking whether you need a bigger train, more trains, or you need to do something about how the network is working. So this data is now coming in quite handy. Yeah, at the end of the quarter I'm seeing more information here, which is all good, and that will give me the details of the train. These highlights here on the little diagram indicate where the train is en route. Oh, and it's already full of fish on the way back for its second journey. Excellent. Excellent. I might need a bigger train. Okay, let's crack on. Let's get this passenger route organised. So this is Jacksonville at the top of our map. So this is a passenger station. These are all multi-platform ones. Again, as in the previous build, just add the number here to increase the number of platforms you want on the station. We only want one. There you go. And I think, because this is the top of the map, isn't it? I think we could just have it like that. I think we'll need to think about how the depot gets trains to it, or we could have a separate depot. I think this depot will serve it. That's no problem. So that's you there. We're going to have our track. Is that actually connected? I'm not sure it is. Let's try that again and make sure. Just notice my reputation is 53, so that's quite good. I'm quite happy with that. So you're coming down here. We'll do that. And I will just lay this track down. Follow my guidelines. So we'll leave you there, I think. That's good, and we're going to want a station here. Passenger station. If we go back to our map, so this is Austin. Yeah, so around here. Do I want it? Actually, up there will do nicely, I think, won't it? Yeah, so if we put it up here, it's probably the best place for it, I think. Something along these lines. Like so. Yeah. We'll get some track coming out of there. Oh, my reputation's gone down to 52. That's disappointing. Where's the other end of the track? Okay, let's sort of skirt the forest, shall we? Over here. Around here, and then join up precisely there. And that's double green lines. Awesome. We might need just one train on this line for the time being, so we'll see how that goes. So let's go back to Jacksonville, was it? I think it was. And this station here can be Jacksonville West. So I think it is west of that city. Oh, if I click the train icon there, oh, it takes me here. So this is going to be a new passenger train. I'm not sure if this actually makes a difference which one you select here, but it's not. Train has no engine. This is true. Train doesn't exist at all at the moment. So let's add our new train. Yeah, so if you select passenger here, the inventory might show you just the passenger trains you've got stored. In fact, what it does here is just show you the specific wagons. But you can, of course, obviously just... Oh, you can't change it. Oh, I see. Oh, it's very specific, isn't it, then? Okay, right. Interesting. See how that mechanic plays out. So we want one locomotive, and passengers are seen to be easier to come by in this latest update. So we'll put... Oh, what's our capacity here? 100? We'll try 125. That's what we'll do to start with. There you go. And this route will be from Jacksonville West to Austin 1, and we'll let it know when we get to Austin. Now the slight trouble we've got here, I think, is there is no way for that train to get to the line. Now let's go back to our map here, because we haven't connected it to the depot. So I think we should do that. I think that would be a good thing to do. There you go. That makes sense. Good. So this train here, train number 2. And let's go. It's on the route. So can we follow you? I think we can. Oh, my reputation's gone down again to -41. Interesting, it's -41. Maybe that's the total, isn't it? So it's -47 for the incomplete routes, is the phrase I use there. but I've got +6 for number of trains or some such. So the Jacksonville passenger line's giving me -50. Yeah. And the Jacksonville fish line is giving me a better number. Well, that train's nearly... Actually, what's that train looking like? I want to check that train. That train there, the fish train. Carrying... Where are you at the moment? Oh, you're coming back in to fill up. You've got 100 waiting there. Okay. What we'll do is we'll edit this train. Can I edit you? And where's the... Is that edit train? It is edit train. Let's add another boxcar to you. So that capacity is now just 90. That's not much, is it? Oh, performance is only normal now. Yikes, but the capacity is 105. Let's do that. Okay. Right, it stopped while I upgraded it. And now it's going again. That's lovely. So that will pick up. And where's our other train? But how many passengers have you got? 34 already, you see. That's so much better than we had in the previous version. So that is excellent. It's going to ring the bell when it gets to Austin. -60 is... Oh! My reputation is getting slightly better. Of course, what we're going to find is that on this part of the map we're in at the moment, we're not going to see any animals out in the fields. So I can't show them off to you. Which is a pity, but we will see them at some point, I am sure. Signals work in much the same way as we've seen before. It's really the way the economy and the trains and lines work. That's been the core of this update. And here we are, approaching Austin. I hope, yeah, Austin, it tells me that. Good. Let's not follow the train anymore so I can go straight up to the station, all the way out here. Now, it's a curious thing. Oh, it is telling me now. There seems to be some delay I've seen so far in A, telling you how many are waiting for the service, and B, then actually appearing on the platform. So if we watch this train pull in, disgorge its current load of passengers from Jacksonville, will they suddenly appear? Will these 40... Oh, they've suddenly appeared. And now they're gone again. So they're now on the train. And my reputation's gone back up to 45. Now you see what I mean about this being a challenging thing early game, at least, is getting enough of that reputation to unlock a second region. So when you first start off, I think it's going to be pretty much completing all the routes, all the connections within that region, within your home region, before you can move on to the next region. And once we've done that, once we've connected these other two cities, then we should be fine and have enough reputation to move forward into another region. I wonder where we might go next. I don't know. But I think that will do for now. Looking here at the latest update to Train World. And as you can see, there's a whole lot more going on. A whole lot more going on. I don't think I've got any more. No, didn't see any new achievements come through. I think I'll get one for passenger as a completed. I think actually I should have got one for delivering passengers, shouldn't I? Oh, that's disappointing. Anyway, so what we'll do is we will leave this here, and I will say thank you so much for joining me today for this update, this first look at the very much significantly updated version of Train World. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, it'd be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Just click on the old thumbsy uppy button. Even better, if you've got anything to say about what I'm doing with the game or the game itself, or if you fancy having a station or a train named for, well, for anything really. If you feel like naming a train or a station, then please do, whatever you feel like saying. In fact, just drop it down into the comments box below while we wait for a train to arrive. Yeah. And other than that, of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you could do that now. And that way you'll know when I upload another one of these or any of my other Let's Play series. Wonder where my trains are. I'm sure one should appear soon. Maybe. Who knows? But anyway, from me, Ajaxpost, here in Train World. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.